The senator from West Virginia.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise today to express my deep concerns with the two wildly divergent proposals for continuing resolution that will be presented to us here today. Now, I might just be a freshman senator, but I'll be blunt. This whole process does not make a lot of sense to me, and I'm afraid it doesn't make sense to a lot of West Virginians or a lot of our fellow Americans. We will likely have votes on two proposals today, and both options are partisan and unrealistic, and neither one will pass. The first is our Democratic proposal that doesn't go far enough. This proposal, which calls for $6.5 billion in new cuts, utterly ignores our fiscal reality. Our nation is badly in debt and spending at absolutely unsustainable and out-of-control levels. In February alone, the federal government outspent revenues by an unacceptable $223 billion. We must turn our financial ship around, but the Senate proposal continues to sail forward as if there's no storm on the horizon. Or we could choose a second, even more flawed measure, a House GOP proposal that blindly hacks the budget with no sense of our priorities or of our values as a country. Now, I didn't grow up in an America that would carelessly cut Head Start and make the playing field even harder for kids born into poverty. Our America shouldn't cut funding for veterans or for border security or for first responders or especially for our children without at least discussing the alternatives. The bottom line, however, is this. Democrats and Republicans are being asked to vote on wildly different proposals for reining in spending. Republicans will say that Democrats don't go far enough, and we Democrats will say the Republicans go too far. The truth is that we're both right, and both proposals will fail. Worse still, everyone in Congress knows that they will fail. The more important question is this: why are we engaging in this political theater? Why are we voting on partisan proposals that we know will fail, that we know don't balance our nation's priorities with the need to get our fiscal house in order? Why are we doing all this when the most powerful person in these negotiations, our president, has failed to lead this debate or offer a serious proposal for spending and cuts that he would be willing to fight for? How does that make sense? The truth of the matter is this: that this debate, as important as it is, will not be decided by House Republicans or by Senate Democrats negotiating with each other or past each other. The debate will be decided when the President leads these tough negotiations. And right now, that's not happening. I know it's not easy, and I know that it takes compromise, and I know that it will be partisan and difficult. I know that everyone will have to give up something, and no one will want to relinquish anything. But that is what the American people are demanding. Respectfully, I am asking President Obama to take this challenge head on, bring people together, and propose a compromise plan for dealing with our nation's fiscal challenges, both now and for our future. For me, when I was governor of the great state of West Virginia, like you, Madam President, dealing with our state's problems required bringing people and a diverse group, a strong-willed group of legislators together. But I did, because that was my responsibility. By working together, we were able to tackle the tough fiscal problems that our state faced, and we did it while setting our priorities and protecting the most vulnerable in our state. The bottom line is this: the President is the leader of this great nation, and when it comes to an issue of significant national importance, the President must lead. Not the majority leader or speaker, but the President. He must sit down with leaders of both parties and help hammer out a real bipartisan compromise that moves our nation forward and establishes the priorities that represent our values and all hardworking families. And I truly believe that he can do it. And when we finally come together and agree to a bipartisan solution, we will not only set a new tone for our nation, but we can start to focus on what the American people sent all of us here to do: start working together to create a more prosperous future for all of our children and our families, and be the America that we all know that we can be. Thank you, Madam President, and I yield the floor.